Hi, my name is Desiree, but you can call me Des, and I want to talk about how recreation and fun is a form of resistance. With what's going on in America and across the world, in Gaza, in Sudan, in Congo, in Iran, there's so many different, big issues happening right now. And I'm no expert, so I'm not going to go into specifics because, quite frankly, I don't want to give you misinformation. However, what I do know is I want to do what's right and I want to stand for what's right. I want to help the people that are doing what's right. With these different movements and wanting to do what's right, I am just one person. And, of course, when people come together and we create a community, then it has a giant impact that can really be big and really, really force social progression. However, I do think we should acknowledge the fact that no one person is able to do everything in order to support a movement, and that's okay. I feel like there's a lot of pressure and kind of guilt that, quite frankly, I'm putting on myself. I feel bad that I'm not doing everything, and I'm making this video for myself and for anyone else who feels the same way, who feels very strongly about social justice and protecting human rights. So, recreation is a form of resistance. What I mean by that is, I believe that engaging in hobbies, doing fun activities, having joy and enjoyment of things and amusement and entertainment is important, even in times, or especially in times of crisis, because I feel that people who are burnt out or feel hopeless or have given up are easier to oppress. And by still maintaining some semblance of joy in hard times is the way to stop burnout and hopelessness from happening. Although it is important to educate yourself on what's going on as much as you can, and call your state representatives or call your government representatives, donate to organizations that are helping, or volunteer for organizations that are helping. That is very important. And please don't get me wrong, please continue to do the other things as well. However, it's not a good idea to run yourself ragged. The way to avoid burnout and hopelessness is the recreation. It is the joy. It is fun things. And I think we need to remember that. There is many different ways to resist oppression. There's many different ways to stand up for human rights. It is the combination of all of these different ways that we resist oppression and violating human rights. All of those things come together to form the movement, and we need to remember that. In addition to recreation is a form of resistance, but rest is also a form of resistance. Trying to garner a sense of peace. And I understand it's hard. I understand that to try to feel even somewhat peaceful in a time like this is difficult to do, but I think we should still try to do it. Because again, we need rest in order to keep going. We're not machines, we are people, and we're not able to just burn the candlestick at both ends. We just can't do that. I think it's more productive long term to be mindful of how much you're putting out versus how much you're recharging. Engage in your hobbies. Spend time with loved ones. Go to the gym. Read a fictional book that has nothing to do with what's currently going on. Do things that you enjoy and that are fun and that you like. And encourage others to do the same. If you can, take these fun activities and try to include them into the movement. For example, today I saw in Minnesota there was a art sled display or competition, and all of the art sleds were specifically against ICE and Trump and what's going on in America. That's a perfect example of taking a fun hobby and then using that and combining that with the movement. And I've seen a bunch of different examples. That was just one example that I saw just today. In addition to recreation, I also want to talk about entertainment or media, or light entertainment is what I call it. In addition to content that is educating people, that's encouraging people to get involved, that's telling people how to help, giving people resources on where to go to help. Of course, that is important. We need to continuously keep making content and sharing content like that to help bring more awareness, bring more attention. Content that exists simply for the sake of entertainment, I think we should also continue to make that content as well. I don't think that we should just keep posting content and say nothing about the social issues going on. Like, I think that that is unhelpful, but I also don't think that making every single post in your feed related to the social issues going on is helpful either. For example, on my most used social media, which is Instagram, I am posting normal, like, light entertainment content. I'm posting just beauty content just for fun. However, my stories on my Instagram is mainly focused on sharing posts that educate people, that tell people ways to get involved, to help all of these different movements that are going on across the world. As well as, like, I do have like a highlight on my profile showing like protest rights and general like explanations of what's going on in different places, links to donate to, and resources to, like, for people to help those in need. And of course I am making this video, and I'm making this video to show that although I will continue to post light entertainment content that's just fun to look at and not horrific like the news, I'm not ignoring it. I've continued consuming other people's light entertainment content because that's how I keep up this balance. Please keep resisting. Keep supporting movements, even in small ways. For example, I wore red lipstick in this video because red lipstick has a long history of being a small sign of protest for women's rights and for humans' rights. And in the description of this video, I'll have a bunch of different link trees on how to help the various different movements going on in the world, as well as a couple links to help those who may be struggling with their mental health, because of course it would be very reasonable to be struggling with your mental health at a time like this. However, you are not alone, and there is places and resources for you to get help. Please, please, please consider looking through the links. I will have a bunch of them. If you have the means, please donate to those organizations. If you don't have the means to donate, please call your state representatives, call your government representatives, participate in general strikes and boycotts if you can. Continue to talk about what's going on. Share posts, talk about it with your friends and family. Please comment below, like, your opinions on the concept of recreation as a form of resistance. I genuinely would like to hear what other people think about it.